Cedar Point and Kings Island, the two best amusement parks in Ohio. And throughout many of them, I noticed a lot of them start with the letter M. So here's a list of all the roller coasters that start with the letter M. Mystic Timbers, Mine Ride, Magnum, Maverick, and Millennium. Not very many, 5 of them, but still enough. So today I will be ranking them. And in the last spot, in 5th place, is the Mine Ride. Now this is really called the Cedar Creek Mine Ride, but that's too long and doesn't start with M, so we had to improvise. This Aero mine train is not very good. It's really janky, but if you're El Toro Ryan, then you might like this ride. But for everyone who isn't El Toro Ryan, this ride is pretty bad. If you ride in the back or the front, it's fun, but anywhere else, and you shouldn't have gone on in the first place. This very clearly ranks last for me, as it's one of my least favorite roller coasters. And number 4, this is a really big shocker, Mystic Timbers. The only roller coaster at Kings Island, and the only wooden coaster on this list. I had really high expectations for this ride, and to say the least, it did not live up to those. I had fast lane, so I rode this 4 times, in the front, in the middle 2 times, and in the back. And sure, it's fast, and it doesn't slow down. The lap bars got so tight, it restricted every type of force. And even if it weren't for the lap bar being down all the way, really, it just isn't that great. I mean, it looks really cool in POVs, but you just kind of sit there like there's no forces. Granted, it has been a month and a half since I rode it, so my memory is probably terrible, but all I remember is not liking it very much. I personally have Magnum ahead of this in my ranking. Speaking of Magnum, at the 3rd spot is Magnum XL 200, the world's first hypercoaster. I wanted to place this farther up on the list, but there are only 5 coasters, and the next 2 are amazing, so that leaves Magnum here, in number 3. If you learn how to ride Magnum, then it's really fun, but if you're just getting on and expecting it to be a normal coaster, then you'll come out hurt and bruised. What I do is stick my hand in between me and my lap bar. I also rode 3rd to last row, which makes the drop really good. But like I said, if you don't know how to ride Magnum, you won't like it. This coaster single-handedly started the coaster wars, where each theme park was trying to make the tallest coaster in the world. This, when it opened, was the tallest. But other parks were making taller and faster coasters, so Cedar Point had to improvise and make number 2, Millennium Force. This ride is great. If you sit in the middle, not so much. This is definitely a front row ride. And I know, I already made a video on where to sit, but front or the back. If you sit in the middle, don't even go on this ride.
I don't know what y'all are whining about, but if you don't like that kind of racing, don't even watch.
I mean, look at this POV I took. Do you hear me screaming? No, because I was in the middle of the train. The middle sucks. If you sit in the front, the best moment in all of Cedar Point will happen when you're going down that first drop. It is just insane. That first drop never gets old. It's way better than Mystic Timbers combined with the Mine Ride. Well, that's not really saying much, but still. It's a once-in-a-lifetime experience, and I've experienced it 4 times. I know, I'm so cool. From the T-bars to the trains, this ride is amazing. Maybe I'm overselling it, but I just want you guys to know why I'm putting it so high. Number 1 is Maverick. My favorite coaster, period. Maverick. Let's take a quick dive into this coaster. Go down with an LSM launch, which isn't that powerful, but still whatever. Go down an insane 95-degree drop into a twister section, into an insane airtime hill with 2 mid horseshoe rolls, then into the best launch I've ever experienced, to 2 stangle dives. I mean, this is just insane. And I didn't even say the last airtime hill, which is like one of the best parts. Magnum is 205, Millie is 310, Maverick 105. literally 100 feet shorter than the coaster that started the Coaster Wars. Cedar Point started the Coaster Wars with Magnum and ended it with Maverick. Maverick is just insane. If you don't like intense coasters, then maybe... Actually, you shouldn't go on Millennium, that's intense. Magnum will kill you. Mine Ride will also kill you, and Mystic Timbers is also intense. If you don't like intense roller coasters, don't ride any coasters that start with M.